Hey guys and ghouls, welcome back to the Cozy Ghost. I'm your host October, and welcome back to Cozy Ghost Babbles, a mini-series where I babble on about whatever I want for roughly 10 minutes. Now, usually, I spin a big ol' wheel about a bunch of topics and it'll pick one. However, I have received a comment on my cheese video. That video where I talked about cheese for a good long while. And I got a request to do butter. So that's what this video is. I'm going to spend 10 minutes talking about butter. Let's start. Butter. Butter is a substance that is made out of cow's milk. Usually. I don't think I've ever had butter of any other kind. Do people make butter of other flavors? Other kinds of milk? I don't know. But I like butter because I am a dairy fiend. I just really like dairy, okay? I just do. I think it tastes good. Butter is good in a lot of things. There is a whole type of pastry making called patisserie, dedicated to butter. Because you gotta get the butter between the layers. It's gotta be cold, because if it melts out, you'll lose all of the crispy little layers you got there. What is that called? To get the layers in a croissant, for example, you take the dough. You take your cold slab of butter, you fold the dough over it. Then you fold it again, and again, and again, until there's a lot of teeny tiny layers of butter and pastry to get that nice crispy lamination when it bakes. And then I think you have to let it prove. We're not talking about croissants though. We're talking about butter. Butter goes into a lot of things. Butter and a nice potato, like a good, nice potato, like a baked potato, for example. You slather some butter on there, you sprinkle some cheese, you add some bacon bits if that's your fancy. Butter just makes everything taste better. Butter is better. You feel me? So when you add butter to bread, for example, butter and bread is a legendary combination. You just get that nice crust of butter and you just go spread, 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 and you eat that. It's so simple, yet so good. And who can deny the deliciousness of bread and butter? Wars are fought over bread and butter, specifically bread, not as much butter. But bread and butter, it's the bread and butter of the world. There's a reason that phrase exists. What else do I think about butter? I think it's good. I think it tastes good. I'm going to say this over and over again. Butter is the path to a better future. Because butter goes on everything. Like, butter goes into cookies. You need butter for cookies, depending on the type of cookies. Butter is a key component in scones, the deliciousness that is baked goods. If you like anything that's baked, chances are good it has butter in it, unless it's a pretzel. And then it does not have dairy products of any sort, I believe. And I think that's the reason pretzels were invented. But anyway, butter. You gotta cut up butter. Butter can be used in many ways. Did you know they started selling, I don't know where they started selling it, but they did, butter Christmas trees. Like, they're Christmas trees that are small, made of butter. Butter Christmas trees. And they have turkey butter. Like, butter in the shape of a turkey for Thanksgiving. I'm American, if you couldn't tell. I've got butter running through my veins. But anyway, they do those because you have rolls at holidays like Christmas or Thanksgiving, or any big family meals like that. So they have themed butter, like themed shaped butter. And they sell butter from different restaurants too. Like, they have, they've got, I think I saw in a store they had Texas Roadhouse butter because Texas Roadhouse butter has cinnamon in it. The butter didn't have cinnamon in it. It was just plain butter. What in the world? You always get bread and butter when you go into restaurants to fill up before your meal. Unless it's a very specific restaurant, then you might get garlic bread or garlic rolls or chips and salsa. But carbs seem to be at the heart of this pre-dinner food, and butter at the heart of it all. Butter is key to a good meal, in my opinion. You've got to include butter in some sort, because butter is made of dairy, and butter is a fat. Butter is a delicious fat, and you can use it in baking and cooking just on your bread. It's the bread and butter. I'm gonna say that so many times. I just love butter, guys. Butter's really good. Buttered pasta, buttered bread, buttered potatoes, butter and mashed potatoes. But the type of butter matters too. Like, if it's that good golden Irish butter, like that comes from the cows in Ireland that are treated nice, compared to like the dairy cows here that aren't treated as lovely. Although dairy is not exactly a nice industry. Those poor dairy cows. But anyway, butter. Tastes good. Gotta say, I love it. I think I just had bread and like we had a sourdough loaf, and I just ate half of it with butter. It was just so good. What else can you put butter on? I made scones and forgot to put the butter in recently. That was bad. It was all melted by the time I got to it. Like, I'd asked someone to like dice it into cubes so I can make the scones. I totally forgot about the butter until I was like, huh, why is this scone dough so like dry? Do I need water? Oh my god, the butter. Yeah, I ran out of butter. Butter on corn is good. Butter is good for greasing pans. Although I wouldn't grease a pan like for an omelet with butter, because that's the wrong kind of fat, you know? Just put oil in there. You put butter on both sides of the bread before you make a grilled cheese. That's pretty key to me. To make butter, you have, well, in the olden days, you had to churn butter by hand, and I actually feel like that was cool. Like, that it's a cool thing, right? Like, churning butter by hand. You just, I could do that for a video. 100 likes on this video and I will churn butter, I don't know, on a live stream or something. But yeah, butter's pretty cool. I like it. I think it's important. There's also different kinds of butter. There's squeezy butter. I don't own squeezy butter, but I know some people who do. It's not even really butter. There's margarine, which isn't butter. Butter tastes a lot better than margarine, I have to say. If I had to choose between butter and margarine, I would always choose the butter. I know, like, margarine's, like, better for the environment. Maybe. I don't know if it's cheaper. But I see a lot of margarine. I prefer butter. Butter's just better. Butter and better, there's a reason that they're just one letter off, okay? They're good. What else? Danish butter cookies. Those are good. They're a little bit bland, but that's the point, right? You're supposed to have them with a nice cup of tea, a nice cup of coffee. Probably tea, but like, it's good. Like, they're cute. And butter is such a key ingredient in so many delicious sweet things. Unless you're not a sweet type of person, then I totally get if you're not fond of butter. But then butter also goes into a ton of savory things as well. Like, you can use it to make little hot pies, or very fixated on pastry. I really like pastry. Let's see. We've got butterscotch. That's related to butter. It's made with butter. It's crazy. Butterscotch, toffee, and caramel are all pretty much very similar things. Like, it's all butter, sugar, and I think one other ingredient for butterscotch, and I can't remember what it is. But damn, butter is so important for these things. Like, you gotta get the butter in at the right ratios and the right timings. Like, butter is key. I feel like there are characters themed around butter. I feel like there are. Let me check something. Yeah, no, there are no butter themed characters. There's Butters from South Park. Butters, he is funny, I think. I don't know, I don't watch a ton of South Park. There's Buttercup from Powerpuff Girls, but that's not the same. Butter is not a big inspiration for a lot of people, but a lot of people rely on it. Why doesn't butter inspire more people? It inspires me. I wish I could be a delicious fat. Like, come on, like, butter goes with everything. Everyone loves butter. The only people who don't love butter are unhappy with themselves. So yeah, like, I feel like that's a good enough reason, right? Butter just tastes good. Butter just tastes better! Oh, butter. Butter. Can go on vegetables, starches, breads, carbohydrates. Could go on meats, but you probably shouldn't. It goes in tons of desserts. The only thing butter shouldn't go on is fruit. And I think that's a good place to end this episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this talk on butter. If I had any butter opinions that you disagree with or wish I had touched upon, please let me know down in the comments. I hope you have a butter rest of your day. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!